The Lions playing meaningful football late into November, into December. We have to enjoy that. And I think the last couple weeks, the Bears game, then the Thanksgiving game, really kind of messed us up a little bit because we were riding so high. Everything's great. We're still 8-3. Okay. Still 8-3. Everything in front of us, control our own destiny, all those things you want to say. It's all good. The Lions are getting good news though, coming finally now that we've, it's been a couple days since Thanksgiving, where it's not very common that you go through a whole game where almost nothing positive happens. Yeah, we scored a couple touchdowns and one late that was meaningless. So really you score like one. But I don't remember a game where like weren't even in the game. I mean, it's been a long time since the Lions didn't have fight down to the end. So that is where most people are shocked. But here's the deal. If you just say, hey, there's a lot of good things ahead of us and what we're doing, Lions are going to be just fine. Let's take a look at a few of these things that it's good. It's all good. The good news is here. Check it out. First thing that we want to look at is the schedule and not lose hope on the schedule. So if you look at the Vikings schedule, they're playing, and I want to look at the Vikings just real quick because they're the one we're gonna have to compete with for the division. They've got the Bears tomorrow, and that'll tell us a lot about the Vikings because the Vikings are due for a letdown. Are you kidding me, Josh Dobbs? Like seriously, the Raiders will tell us a lot. Raiders aren't that good. Let's see if they can beat these two teams that are they should beat if they're going to win the division. They've got to win these two games, and then they've got the Packers as well. So they've got a lot of like marginal games that I don't think they're going to win, honestly, because Josh Dobbs is due for a letdown. So you go over to the Lions schedule. So if you look at it, the Saints, this turned now into one of the biggest games we've had in a long time. It's at New Orleans. It's a game where they're competing for their division. So that's a game we got to have. It's time to go. Like it just feels like we've been running through, almost going through the motions in a way. It feels really real. Into December, meaningful games against the Saints. I would be stunned if the Lions don't rise up for that. Then we go on the road against the Bears. I would be stunned if we don't rise up for that game. And then you've got the Broncos due for a letdown. The Broncos are playing hot. They're due for a letdown. 2 games against the Vikings. And here's where the good news comes in. Everyone's making a big deal about the Vikings. It's a head-to-head. It's a head-to-head of the Vikings. Vikings can jump. We just got to win one of those 2 games. We win the division. Okay. Cowboys is going to be a tough game. But we're looking at now a 6-game stretch here. 6 games left in the season where you've got 3 teams that are due for 4 teams that are just due for letdowns. And the Lions are going to be ready to take over. Now, here's why. You're finally seeing some of our explosive players get the reps that we've been calling for. Jahmyr Gibbs, Jameson Williams, most notably. So you look at Jahmyr Gibbs. He had 71% of the snaps against the Packers. Love that. I love David Montgomery, but Jahmyr Gibbs has shown his ability to explode. Good news, we're using Jahmyr Gibbs more and more and more and more each week. That is such good news and great to see. And also Malcolm Rodriguez, what up? Thanks for coming over to the offense. And then also Sam Laporta. He was hovering around the 70%, 75. Now he just almost plays every time there's a tight end out there, it's Laporta. Awesome. Jameson Williams, 63%. That's what you want to see. He is out there 2/3 of the time. That is awesome. Jameson Williams' playing time has settled in around 60-65% mark as the Lions allowed some opportunities this week for Khalif Raymond and Donovan Peoples-Jones, which, yeah, Khalif Raymond was out there a little bit more. Felt like we had to settle things down, get something going, so we went to our most dependable guy. But Jameson Williams, good news. We're going to use him more. Like, it's time to go. Let's stop screwing around and let's use our main guys. We're into December, and we are going to find out if we are a playoff team or not. Simple. We're going to find out. We got 6 games left against an all manageable games. They're not winnable games. They're not, whatever you want to say. It's the NFL. We learned that last couple weeks. Anybody can beat you at any time. So it's not, the language is they're manageable. We can win these games. If we are going to win the division and be who we think we can be, It's right in front of us. And that's more good news, is that that's right. It's all in front of us. So I know everyone was frustrated, myself included, just because I think it was 2 weeks in a row, and the Packers game, not a single thing seemingly went right. I mean, it was turnover on downs, uh, just 3 and outs. I mean, just like what is going on? And then the defense, I thought ultimately played pretty well, considering they were always put out there. But anyway, that game's gone. You look at the future; we're in great shape. 8-3, everything in front of the Lions. I don't see why. Again, either we're going to win the division, and we've got a chance to prove that, or we just weren't good enough at all, and it didn't work out, because these teams that we're playing are not teams like, oh man, we're really good, but man, we ran into a buzzsaw of these really good teams. Now it's all right there for us, and our main guys are starting to play. Offensive line should be healthy. Jonah Jackson should be back. From the reports last week and what was going on, looked like they were going to give him an extra 1 week, with the short Thursday game, to give him another week for the stretch run. So there's more good news. Jonah Jackson should be back. Offensive line, so we struggled. The guards really struggled. He helps come back. We're generally healthy as well. Like, I know we've got some big season enders out there. Every team does, but I mean, you got your quarterback, you got your main offensive line players, you got your weapons. Let's go. Like, come on. So let me know your thoughts in the comments on this. Thanksgiving was a disaster, but we're moving in the right direction. We'll see all of you on the next one.